Breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday, pay it forward Friday, we're seizing the day. Digital finance, unlearning a love, serving food for what those two, rising as a beat and it's Eastern on P2GTV. Breakfast with the Thomases, come eat with me.
All right, Grand Rising. Welcome to Breakfast with the Thomases. I am one of your hosts, Albert Thomas, the Gold Banker, coming to you live 1 gram at a time. And my partner will be on very shortly. This was just an awesome weekend. It was a getaway weekend. Get to just relax, let your hair down, and just be at peace for a moment. Take a sec. There was a lot of things going on this weekend. We had an old timers day in the neighborhood, and then there was a getaway that happened. And I just want to, share. People are living life. And this is all we can do. You can only live your life. We're on multiple platforms today. We're on StreamYard. We're on StreamYard. We're on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, Clapper, and Stereo. Thank you guys all for being with us. Let's jump. I want to jump right into it. I don't want to get too deep into the conversation, but I'm gonna tell you about the video for about half a second. The dollar is here. It's gonna be here for a while, and people are finding other resolutions to make provisions so they can move the way they need to. So, what I want you guys to do is grab a pen and paper, take a listen, and I want you to hear what banks are doing, so that you know how to make moves, so you fall into the same category, so you can move like a bank and be ahead of the curve. Okay. So Grand Rising, let's get it started. I'm gonna jump up here to the share. Add that to the stage, and here we go. Let's get some volume on that one.
Gold and silver lovers, today is a big day because it marks the launch of something that is going to help end the paper market manipulation monopoly, that's a mouthful, that the West has had over physical gold and silver prices for years. And yes, I am talking about the long-awaited gold clearing and settlement system coming out of Hong Kong, out of the Hong Kong exchanges and clearing. Now, in case you're thinking this is just a Hong Kong story, think again. This impacts everyone globally, whether you already own gold and silver, you're thinking about buying, or you save in dollars, as they are aiming to be the international price setter for the precious metal. Now, this is a big deal, and whether or not you've been following everything that's been going on, I've been reporting on this for a while, do not worry, because we're going to break down exactly what today's launch means, how it impacts you, and of course, what's coming next. Now, for decades, if you wanted to trade large quantities of gold or silver, you really had to do it through New York or London, which gave the West a monopoly on the ability to control spot price. Now, when we talk about spot price manipulation or suppression of physical gold and silver, what it really comes down to is a massive divergence between the amount of physical gold and silver versus the amount of paper gold and silver issued. Now, how they would do this is a process called rehypothecation, which essentially means that you could create many paper claims on the same amount of physical gold or silver. Of course, this made it look like the supply versus demand was completely out of whack, that there was far more supply than there actually was in reality, hence lowering or suppressing the spot price. All of this to say that billions of dollars of contracts right now change hands without real physical gold or silver ever actually being delivered. But this is where Asia comes in. Now, with the HKEX linking this gold settlement and clearing system to their futures, it could be expected that when contracts expire, participants will expect real metals to be cleared. Okay, now This limits a bank's ability to short the naked contracts or sell silver or gold that they don't physically hold. This is going to be a massive game changer for the spot price of both gold and silver because over time, the East is going to create more pressure on the West to keep up with what inevitably will be higher spot prices. In fact, right now, there often is already a divergence where if you look at what's going on over in Asian countries versus Western countries' spot price, you're going to see that they're often already trading at a premium. Why is that? Because there's more of a tie to the physical. This is also going to help with all the short selling. Now, banks have been notorious for spoofing or dropping these large amounts of paper contracts in the dead of the night when nothing can happen that will crash prices. Okay, I'm not making this up. In fact, if you look it up, you can find that banks have already been fined for this, gotten in trouble for it. Not nearly enough, not every time it happens. Should be way more. It should stop. It's still happening today. But again, look it up. I'm not making this up. But now, what would happen? Instead of just having a few Western desks, right, that are in charge of all of this, and nothing really anyone can do because it's all based on one time zone, well, now you could have arbitrage traders come in and grab those contracts and then exchange them for the real physical gold or silver. Well, what's that going to do? It's going to punish the short sellers. It's going to help prevent this from happening again and again. This is something that if you have been a long time gold or silver holder, you are probably familiar with. If you are not familiar with what I'm talking about, you've saved yourself a lot of heartache and headache. Okay. Now, for me personally, if you've watched this channel for any amount of time, you know I try not to get too tied up on the spot price because ultimately for me, I am very, very confident. I've studied currency resets throughout history. One thing we know for sure is that the dollar, right, the value of this piece of paper is always going to be worth less tomorrow than it is today. And ultimately, as we careen towards a new monetary system where the dollar is not at the center of it, we could see inflation turn to hyperinflation and a currency reset where they come out and revalue or devalue the official value of the dollar to something significantly less. During currency resets throughout history, that's when you always want to make sure you have your physical gold and silver. So today's spot price for me does not matter as much because I own both physical gold and silver, and I'm glad I do. And I don't really sweat it. The price goes down a little, goes up a little, because ultimately I know what's coming next. So do central banks, which is why they're buying it in massive amounts of record quantities in terms of physical gold, right? Now, here's the thing though. The reason why this is so important, number one, is because I just hate those crooks. I hate the criminal activity. I hate the big banks winning, right, and pulling a fast one over everyone else. It's incredibly frustrating when we all know that the spot price of gold and silver should be much higher, but should doesn't really matter, right? When the big guys are out there able to stick it to the little guys. Well, for once, I'm feeling a lot of hope around what this could mean for all of us coming next, right? Do I think it's going to stop the manipulation entirely? No. I think, like I said, they'll find another way. But do I think it is a huge step forward in the right direction? Yes, absolutely. And Hong Kong isn't coming to play, you guys. They are serious. They mean serious business. Yesterday, they announced that, by they, I mean the HKEX, right, in Hong Kong announced they would waive fees for its US dollar gold futures for a year. Now, the turnout was immediate, breaking their record amount of one-day futures trading done by double, okay, following this announcement. They are going to do whatever it takes to become, as they said they want to be, the international price setter for precious metals. Now, I talked earlier about how this would impact not only gold and silver, but the dollar as well. I have come on this channel and I have talked about central banks buying physical gold, but it's not just that they're stockpiling gold, okay? We are seeing a return to real money. And in order to do that, the same way here in the US, if there was ever to be a revaluation, they'd have to audit Fort Knox, right, and prove you have the gold. Well, here, as the world prepares for a return to gold at the center of the monetary system, right, it's not just the stockpiling of the gold, it is the infrastructure around it that is playing a huge role. And this is all happening in tandem. And one thing that's really interesting about this too is that it is a sanction exempt, okay? A sanction exempt gold clearing and settlement system. What I mean by that is that it is outside of Western control. And I'm talking about the US. I'm talking about how, when Russia invaded Ukraine, the US was able to basically cut Russia off from the rest of the world by blocking their access to the SWIFT payment system, right? As well as freezing and seizing their reserves. But this operates on its own blockchain technology. So the US can't stop it, even if they wanted to, right? And what's very interesting about this as well is Hong Kong is just one piece of the puzzle. Okay. They have been very busy. The BRICS nations have been busy coming together. I've talked about the gold corridor, or a network of gold settlement vaults that they are building in Asia. A one that they're creating right now lives in Saudi Arabia. Why do you think that is? To settle oil in gold. Okay, when I tell you guys that gold is going to be the return to center of the monetary system, okay, I'm not just making that up. All the pieces of the puzzle are falling into place. And like I said at the start of this video, it doesn't mean, right, that the dollar is going kaput tomorrow, that it will happen overnight. But the signs are there if you're paying attention. All right, this is why it is so important to make sure that you have your gold and silver now, because what do we think is going to happen to prices, right? The launch is today. What do we think is going to happen to prices as more and more physical gold and silver, right, is settled? Okay, it's going to be huge, in my opinion. And again, I'm not trying to sit here and predict where prices are going, but if you've been debating, protecting your wealth with gold and silver, or you have some, but you want to make sure you have the right strategy for what's coming next, now is the time to talk to a real person with real answers who understands not only what's happening today, but what's coming tomorrow. So if you have any of those questions, or you are that person out there watching who has been thinking about making the call, but wasn't sure how to do so, call us at the number below. Give us a call. We are here to help the same way we've been helping people for the last 30 years. All right. There's also a Calendly link down.
Oh, it's having a bit of a little technical difficulty getting back up to the stage. Grand Rising, y'all, Grand Rising. Oh, so let's we there's a lot to unpack into this conversation today, and I think my partner should be on shortly. I'm waiting to see, but let's get it started. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm a trader, and when I heard this news, this is a couple days old, but I heard this and I thought, all y'all got, a lot of people are out there having conversations about what's happening with the money, what's happening with the money. The conversation you should be having is who's running the money, and that's what we don't. A lot of us don't have that conversation. And I'm going to try to break this down to something very, very simple. Hey, lady, how are you?
Grand Rising, everybody. Welcome to Breakfast with Thomases. Today is our Mental Wellness Monday, and I got to hear a lot of that. How are you all doing? I see some of you out there. Go ahead, y'all can wave. We're going to put it up. Give us some love. Let us know you there. That's what's up. Hi, baby.
Hi, baby. How are you?
How you doing? All right. So you're right. There is a lot to unpack here.
Yeah,
now,
there is.
Something about burning money.
Not burning money. No.
It sounded like that. So can you say that?
Okay. The term she was referring to was hypothecation, and that just means hypothecation.
Good with artery.
Yeah. Big. Today was $5 dictionary day. So get your dictionary out. Hypothecation. Simply, it means what was happening was banks in the West were moving money on paper contracts, shorting the market in the overnight so that they could lower the price. And they were moving more They were moving paper assets opposed to physical assets, and letting people up. It appeared that they were moving physical when it was only paper they were moving. That's what it really means. They're moving paper instead of physical gold to control the market and drop the prices on gold and silver at the time. And they were doing it in the overnight where no moves could be made. So when the bell rang off at 9:30 over here in the East or 9:30 in London, boom, you got this giant drop of everybody just sold everything and money is flying out the door, and they're selling up their holdings so they can get back in.
Okay.
So that's a whole big word broke down in plain simple English.
Okay. Well,
okay.
If you're, I think, well, because I'm not a trader, so that language for me doesn't quite.
Okay, let me put it this way.
Don't worry, because I'm also looking it up. So this is for anyone. If you're not a trader, you have the word rehypothecation. Look it up, please, because what happens is that if you're paying attention to what's going on, you begin to understand why certain things are kind of intense at certain moments.
Right.
I like to share with people a way to look at this simply. I'm a practical person. I'm gonna be very honest with everybody. If it don't make that sense, it don't make dollars, is just some wording. But the fact of the matter is, if what we talk about, I can feel or I can recognize at home, like in my house and in my activity, then this needs to be my focus.
Absolutely.
The food budget, if you feel it in your transportation, if you feeling it in the decisions you're making around what trips to take away from home and what you can eat, you have to really think about the outside effects of what's happening inside and what you can do in your home to change your situation. And that's where we come in. That's where this conversation, that's where Breakfast with the Thomases makes sense.
Yes, Ms. Griffin, Grand Rising to you. I see you out there. Good to have you. Good to have you. You know, I was really taken by this conversation because I was looking earlier in the week about what happened. You know, they were talking about how the U.S., our dollar is being.
Guys, I want to reiterate what you just said so people maybe hear it. They're talking about your dollars, the ones you live with. You know, we always looking at the news and it seems like it's there and straight at her moves and these people and those people.
This is all your back door.
You are the Americans. You are Eastern. I'm sorry, you are Western, right? We're Western. You're Western. While Eastern is starting to take over and make moves with the world economy, what you gonna do?
Yeah, and I was I got to be very honest as a person who I was so excited.
What are they talking about? This is affecting you.
Because understand this. You may not be a trader, and I want you. The Hong Kong exchange. You know, we've been talking about Hong Kong and China for a long time. What did they do this year? They locked down all silver moves. No silver's leaving the country without a special request.
Okay.
Now they're looking to get gold. Hold that down.
Well, honey, okay. Because I'm gonna tell you, if they're not a buyer in the gold and silver, what does it matter, right? If you're not a buyer, let's bring this to conversation. We got to bring this. I'm a practical person, and ain't nothing wrong with what you're talking about. But you're speaking to a group of people who already buy.
Yeah.
You're talking to already people who understand about saving and buying gold and understand this process. When I look at it, the only reason I got started was because it was how I was able to feed my family, even after I didn't qualify for food stamps.
It allows you to save for real savings.
When I say that, I'm being real. Even after I did not qualify for food stamps anymore, because we started this journey on almost no money. What I did while I had the little bit, I decided to hold on in something that stuck. Because when I couldn't get them dollars in, and this is when your dollars ain't got no value or losing value, you'll have something to leverage to continue eating. until you pull it together. And the thing is most of y'all are out there buying stuff. Y'all working, going to jobs. Y'all go to your job, you spend your money, and all you spend it on is stuff, entertainment. Ask yourself, but for real, things you don't need, clothing, and what else? What else, Mr. Thomas?
You spend it on alcohol. You spend it on partying, vacation, rental vacations, high end.
How she talking? She got her hair done. Y'all don't know who do my hair. I love it. I can afford to get my hair done. Y'all know that, right? Because we create that we pull it into and create it in the budget. It's in the budget. It's so crazy.
It's not an add-in. It is the part of the budget.
We had to learn to do something different with the money that we earned, and but we cracked open the fact that someone else, that wealthy people took these steps. That's how they had what they had. These were the rules of money. The rules of money are gold, silver, and credit, and land. Those are the rules of money. How many of those are y'all managing those rules?
Those are the foundations, and whether you realize it or not, you all fall into it. Now the question is, where do you fall into it? Are you the consumer of it, or are you the collector of it, or the user of it? Because you can't hold on.
This is the thing. Are you a conductor? Because
conductor, that's a better word.
You never want to just be a user. I am a conductor of assets. I'm teaching others how to conduct assets from knowledge. It's called financial literacy. But if you walking around and you blind and someone's telling you over here, hey, they're calling you over here, walk this way, take a left, not a right, take a left. And you still going right, wondering why you're not getting to that voice, and it seems to be getting farther away, it's because you're making choices not to follow the direction of the map. There's a map to the things you want. How many of you are following those? How many of you are taking the time to figure out what the people who have done or are doing and putting that in place? I had to realize I was practicing poverty. I was making a choice after a while, because it ain't just like I wasn't like a snap too. So some other things today on Mental Wellness Monday has to come through. Jocelyn, we got folks in that.
Oh, but I want you guys to really hear her out, because I look at it differently. I look at it on a different tier than she does, because I trade. But what she's saying to you is really simply put, when your dollars that you're using aren't coming back to you, there's a problem with that. When they go out and don't come back in the door in a growth process, we are missing something. You're consuming, but you're not getting anything for what you consume. And that's a travesty, because we've been trained into that process. Mm-hmm. We've been trained into spend. And then we look at and I use this word because I find it very romantic, for lack of a better word. Our coffers. Our coffers.
Your coffers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, that's you had me watching these. I'm gonna tell you, we have fun a lot. We have a lot of fun. I got into watching Bridgerton with my wife and her sister, and I heard that word so many times used in so many different aspects, but they've used it for money and protecting and holding.
It's financial language. Coffers, meaning you fill your bank or your accounts. That's what coffers are. There's an old word that we don't really use anymore.
Coffers, cupboards, everything.
It's time for us to start realizing it's more than about accumulation. Our motto in our business is it's acquire, build, protect. And in acquire, build, protect, we have to learn that our acquisition is not the end of the process. If there's a system to moving forward, to moving up in life. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, because a lot of people go, well, y'all know you don't seem to be. And we have people we know. It's like, oh, you out here with us. Like I would tell you, like my sister Kat said, you may see me in the street, but baby, remember, we are still with you, just not of you. We don't all hold the same status. We don't all hold the same. Everywhere you might live, everybody is not the same.
You got people walking around your block playing urban couture, and they're just waiting for the baton to move in place. Understand that.
Yeah, that's it. They're waiting for something. You cannot wait. The time is now, and you have access and the ability to make it happen. The only thing is, what you lack is only the knowledge, the information. And everybody, look, I'm gonna be over here. There is not a dang thing that we talk about that's not available online. You know what? The big online for free. Y'all go get it for free. But you know what? We don't have time. Got it? We don't have time. And I love it. He says slowly, and I want to learn to do better. Got it. So if you want to learn to do better, you have to show up at the when you want to learn how to do better, want to do it slowly, you got to show up at the meetings. You got to show up at the classes. Those are where we take our time and we work with people where they're at. You got to be in the community.
You got to come to the table.
You just got to come to the table. The physical table, the real table. You got to be at the Zoom. You got to make time in your schedule to get what you came for. Because unfortunately, y'all got a lot of things you want, but you are not putting the time in. It takes time, especially if you want to work slowly. If you're going to go step by step at something, you're going to have to show up not later, but now.
Exactly. And one of the things you got to really hold tight to is the fact that, I'm sorry, not to real, but one of the things people don't understand is free does not mean free. Free means it requires your time, your effort, your sweat, and your ability to take on the information and then go use it.
But free is not free. Wait, hold up. I just need to make sure we clarify that right there. If y'all think that when I do an event that's for free, that's making sure that the people my buyers understand what they're getting before they come in for buying. So if you don't come to what it is we do for free, you don't need to purchase from me. I get that. You don't want to purchase, and I think that's the first thing we teach you. How to stop consuming just to consume. Mm-hmm. You want to be around folks that know how to make it happen, but no one's going to show you that they know what they can do. You guys have been to a lot of things where people talk about, oh, you could this and you could that, and this is possible and that's possible, and nothing, you leave with nothing. Every time you leave this show, you have something to go, you have something to discover and learn. When you get into a private setting, we have more of a hands-on approach with you guys. I don't do presentation. We build workshops. Everything's a workshop. It brings you to learning what to do with yourself. If you choose to try to eat the crumbs and run with the crumbs and not come for the rest of the cake, that's your business. You stay where you stay because you put yourself there. And those who are not talking about, oh, it costs too much. It costs way more to be broke-minded. It is extremely expensive to be impoverished. It is extremely expensive. And for those who have come to my class and y'all think y'all know it all, you ain't seen nothing yet. We just getting started. Look, what you have learned is only the tip of the iceberg. So
let me say this to you guys so you guys really understand the scope of what Ruby's saying.
Okay.
There are bread lines going on in the state of New York and around the country. There are people standing in lines. Not because they didn't want to get ahead, because they chose something. And not everyone's in the same position. But I can guarantee you, if some of the money they saved by going to a food pantry could go into their financial literacy, they see it different, and their access to that line will get less and less and less. Let's keep it.
I need to answer someone's question, and thank you for saying that, because let me explain how we're not even talking about food pantries. You need a food pantry just to supplement your budget so you can keep living your life. These are working people.
Yeah.
And don't do me a favor. Don't look down on anybody. And
not at the least.
There are working people with jobs and benefits on food lines, supplementing food budgets because they need to put more cash in their budget. They need to preserve cash. That's reality today, y'all. Food stamps is not an option. We were telling you this before when food stamps were included in the Walmart applications. Y'all get that? We have been talking to y'all about this. You've been watching us talk about what you've been seeing happen in the world. When are you going to start waking up? So you definitely keep it away from your door. That's the only thing that matters, that you came in here this morning. What are you doing or getting that it will keep it from your door? Someone asked, she said she needs the Zoom link. Every Zoom link, every link is on our website. Go to the website and you will see the events that are happening. They have big old flyers, talks about what happens in the class, says free on them, and there's a link to join, and 2 of those links are free on Saturday and on Wednesdays. Y'all get it? The website speaks for itself. I don't have to tell you. You see it either posted. If you click a link, you can go there from where you're at right now, or go to p2gnetworks.com. You see it right here on the bottom of my screen. Going apart, says for information and access to classes and private sessions. See, guys, let me tell you something.
Readily available.
We are not playing. We didn't stop. Classes didn't end because you disappeared. The financial world didn't fix because you ain't in class. It didn't. The system of how things work didn't. All it did was shift how it works, but the basics are still there. And if you are having trouble, one of the things, if you have ever been in my program, you know that we don't leave people behind. If you ever, and this is the thing, I remind the folks, people have been, oh, Miss Ruby, it didn't work. I wasn't able to understand because you weren't fully in class and you didn't ask questions. I don't need nobody to be in my class quietly, sitting in a corner. Okay? Because it's a conversation just like this. It's a conversation, guys. When you go into someone's Zoom, I know you there. For most of them, y'all not used to it. Everybody got something to sell you. No, what we do is we got something to show you. We want to show you how the world really works financially, what the underbelly looks like. And then when you come to classes that you paid for, that's when you're going to get the A, B, C, do 1, do 2, do 3. And then how to put together, how to manage a portfolio, how to manage a budget, how to make savings a reality, and it doesn't hurt. Because right now, most of y'all, I can't save no money. My budget is, I owe money. That's why you owe money. Because you didn't learn the basics of it. That's all. This ain't me yelling at you. This is me telling you, sis, brother, you got this. You just don't have the basics. Y'all get where I'm coming from?
And you need to get the basics, because the basics are what you're going to need just to get started. You need the basics just to get started.
There's more than meets the eye in this whole thing. I love it. I love that what I've learned is so vast that I've learned different ways to not only save, build credit, build assets, actually protect my assets. Then on top of that, really put more time in my time. That's what we need. You work in a job, you shouldn't be working and then be broke at the same time. If you got the excuse, if you're working and you broke, you have an excuse that you have to be in class. Simple as that. The only thing that's wrong is you have a lack of financial literacy. If you want services from the government and you broke and you don't have ends meet, you can't make ends meet, that's because you spending money the wrong way. You don't have financial literacy. As simple as that. You didn't figure out what to do with what you get. It is not your fault. You were trained to become a consumer.
Absolutely.
But now it's your fault because you know better. Because you know what you have to learn. See, it was my fault. I was at fault when I learned. I went to that first class where I sat down and they taught me how to fix credit. They taught me how the credit system worked. And they even said, hey, we'll help you. We'll make the calls and we'll help you write the letters and send that stuff so you can clear this up and even make sure they give you a smaller payment plan and how to take care of those. Well, after I had that class, I had no right to be broke and in debt, right? After all of that, I had no right to be broke. I was my option if I was broke. Well, that's how this works. Some of y'all are afraid because your ego's running the game. Your ego right now is so high you don't even notice it. It's running your life. You too good to ask questions. You don't want to say the wrong thing. You afraid of being wrong. Well, you're now starving yourself for your pride. It's time. Look, I'm gonna be very honest. Until I got humble, I didn't feel safe when I woke up for years. Over 40 years of not feeling safe. I tell you, look, I wrote a book with 26 other women. We got together, we wrote a book to talk about our strife to our strive. You understand what I'm saying? And I put in that book, my one chapter was about this story, was about what I'm telling you about. How I feared being poor and destitute my whole life. Not being able to realize myself as somebody who could provide, even for my own babies, because at the time, family was coming through to help when we were out, so we could be out. I wanted to be that one at one point in this life that I lived. I didn't want to be the one that everybody had to put a little something for. I damn sure ain't the one that everybody got to do a GoFundMe for when I die. Because I learned these little steps I now have. If I die, they're already set. While I'm alive,
Coverage is in place.
Emergency happen, we are good. Can you say that? And would you like to? When you want to get that reality.
What would it be like if you could have a conversation that you can actually say, I am at peace, I have things in order, and I know if something happens, I can get back on my feet within 48 hours? What would that be like for really actually?
If your house burned down,
that question.
If everything in your house burned down, how quickly could you bring it back? Or are you on the Goodwills? What they call that? The company that come the
Salvation, Red Cross,
on the Red Cross list for salvation for months and years living in shelters. Noble. Either I'm at a relative's house for 24 hours and then or a hotel, and then I'm putting things back together within the month, within like this week. You know why? Because you have the power. You've always had the power to do that, and you just did. You have to build the power. Acquire, build, protect. Acquire, build, protect. You got to get a new motto for your life. You are capable. You always were. You know what the problem is? You've been told you're only good for so much. That job you got, those services you using. You were told you were handicapped. You had ADHD. You couldn't think. Well, I beg to differ, because my brother right now, one of our brothers that we are running with, will tell you that's a superpower. You just haven't figured out how to tap into it. And even that's available. See, our problem is the conversations that we haven't with ourselves, not the ones even that's coming in at us. You got to start figuring out who you hang out with and with influences. You go from this conversation, build you up into that conversation, you stick there until it's Wednesday when you come back and you want to get built up again. That's not going to work. It's an everyday stride. You got to be having something to do in between. So let's go build your plan to get out of poverty.
Part of that plan is picking up a book and reading. Don't get it twisted. We can tell you all the stuff you need, but you gotta read. You gotta go looking. You gotta go researching. You gotta be in the conversation for how do I put my foundation in place? And they say it all the time, leaders and readers. And trust me, I can say that because I didn't like to read. Now I read as much as I can, whatever I can. And if I can't put words to it, I have audiobooks. So you can get the information however you need to take it in. Get it in.
Exactly.
Just get it in. That's all I can tell you guys.
Reading is something, and I'm going to share something with you. As I've gotten older, I have to use glasses. I can only tell you now What worried me the most was not being able to see properly. And I want you to realize this is why I said Mental Wellness Monday. We've got to learn that gratitude comes now and today. It doesn't come down the line, it doesn't come from the past. I have never been more grateful for my eyes in my life because my mother was legally blind most of her life. Most of my life, my mother was legally blind. And when she learned to read with me when I was little. Her most fluent reading came through my learning as a child. And I didn't know that. My mother used to always tell me, "But Ruby, you taught me how to read." And I was like, huh? Because I'm a little kid. And when I got older, she began to learn to explain that better to me. And that was powerful for me because when my mother was young, she had some things happen to her in her life. Mr. Thomas. Okay. She had some things that went on in her life that you and I would never imagine. And her sight kept getting worse over time. As I began to get older, I didn't understand that until I think about 44, I started wearing these things. Your sight is so precious.
Yes, it is.
What you can do. When I first had that first blurry moment, I'll tell you this right now. My first blurry moment scared me because it was like someone separated me from the world. When I'm this close to a screen, my eyes blur up. And I'm only telling you this because I need you to grasp how much you have right now. How much of an advantage on the playing field you hold, especially if you're young right now. If you're young and you're like in your 20s and you're even listening for a moment, I want you to sit down because I will show you how to be strong when you are in the top range of your life. And I will show you how to relax and be able to live well within the next 30 years, for 30 to 50 to 60 years of your life. If you are 50, I will show you how to readjust your mind and take it to the place that you've been begging God for, so that you get up in the morning and you don't just, it's not shining because God loves you. It's shining because you are accessing God's power. For the first time in your life, your brain.
Go ahead.
Magic. Your brain is a magic because you're not taking for granted the things you have. So since God gave me these glasses, I put them on my face. I read. I eat well. I make sure I drink water. And I get out there and I put them in action. I talk to folks. I have new conversations. I limit myself from the negativity. I wake up and I got gratitude, but I got gratitude with power. You know where I'm coming from, anybody? Y'all got gratitude. You know what the power is? It's not out there looking for something to come in. It's everything I get to push out. I get to push out. Because as soon as I start talking, it's like, yo, I'm sharing. People don't know why I talk to them so much in the street. I'm on the elevator, I'm talking. I'm in the street, I'm talking. We in the shop, I'm telling them. We talking about life. My daughter gets embarrassed. She's like, oh, good Lord, she ain't got to say so many words. You know that's the problem? You stay broken for because you quiet. You are that closed mouth that's not getting fed. You're not reaching out when someone says, hey, we having conversations about how to overcome. Where you at? It's free on weekends. Let's go. On Wednesdays. Let's go.
Let's get it.
If you got the words, I was too busy or I forgot I had to work, then that's what your answer is to your poverty question. That's the answer to your poverty. You were too busy. You had to work or I forgot. Put it on a damn calendar. Because when you got to go down to go recertify, when you got to go down to go get them benefits, if you got to go down to go to that doctor's appointment, when you got to go to work early, that goes on your schedule. And you remember.
Yes, you do.
When you got to go collect that money from somewhere, you ain't forgetting. But my question is where are you when you have to acquire bill protected? Because it's going faster than you can hold on to. Where you at? Where you at? That's what I told you. It's Wednesday at 8 o'clock. It's Saturdays at 7 p.m. It's all on the P2G Network's website. You don't even pay for anything like any of those. But are you in the room where the conversation is going on? So when it's time to pay for a class, you know what the hell you coming for. Because that's the problem. Too many of y'all think y'all seen something like this, and they doing that thing. Girl, let me tell you something, brother. Let me explain something. You ain't never seen nothing like this before. I have never seen anything like this. I can only tell you that I have spent a long time being shocked and amazed by what's being created. What we didn't know in our communities, we don't share it. We share the rhetoric that the powers that be make sure we keep talking about. Oh, it's crypto, it's this, it's that. You have absolutely no clue. And
they're just words that people put out there because you don't go do the research. You're afraid of the word.
And the powers that
You're
be.
afraid of what other people think. What do you think?
Yes, that's what
matters. Do you think is the question.
Amen.
Because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because when you're looking inside your pocket and there's nothing folded in there to come out to get something from the grocery store.
When you're looking at your coffers and your cupboards.
Or you're looking at your closet and you're trying to figure out what you're going to feed your kid because it's empty.
Now, my question
does it matter what anyone thinks?
Is that conversation and that rhetoric going to feed your children? They're going to feed you when you're hungry, when the cupboards get low. Anybody saving? Anybody storing food, putting things away? See, I want to ask questions that are part of the community, because how many of y'all have food storage for 6 months? Water, safety products.
Forget 6 months. How about 30 days? Anybody got 30 days?
30 days. Now I'm going to ask y'all this question. You know, because this is interesting, because people have been, always get, I don't know why, but people keep giving me all their little extras. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I teach digital financial literacy, and I'll stock cans and goods and stuff like that for, I put it away. You know what I'm saying? I put it away. We have things in places that keep us, because I can't live with walls of food. You know what I'm saying? But I've learned to really protect what we have and teach others to do so. We've learned systems for that. You must have gold and silver, but you have to have supplies. There's a time when gold and silver has its place, and it is always a place. Please do not ever get this twisted. I've had people, and it's so funny. Oh my God. I've had people I know that I do business with, that I work in different programs with, like if there's no food or we're having a famine or what have you, gold and I'm sorry, what did we just say? Gold and silver has no value. What, you can't eat gold and silver, but you could trade for it.
Yes, you can.
You can trade for it. Not only that, when everyone's hungry, what is it that you know? See, we have the beyond gold and silver space that we have. We have conversations about that. Farmland, if you have a house, which you should be growing, how you store it, protecting your growth, because you know what a gold mine is in a famine? A good cupboard. A good cupboard. But see, that's not, people keep thinking this is about crypto. Crypto is just a tool. It's a tool that speeds up your ability to take small finances and build faster. Because there ain't a damn thing that they have in banks or these programs that are going to get you direct access to growth. And you don't have to be broke-minded. Let me tell you something. That's the wealthy right now. They're good. They good. They don't have stores. They got warehouses.
Yes, they do.
They got warehouses. They don't got cupboards. They have warehouses. So, but my question is this: what about them? All we're doing is we're looking at what works and we're doing it for ourselves. Can we agree to do that, people, community? Look at what works for those who are doing it well and do it for yourself. Apply it to your life. Find out how to apply it from where you're at. P2G stands for pennies to gold. In everything, it is starting from small and building up to great value. That is for you to decide. And I'm really excited. Our Sunday classes are enrolled. For those who would like to, who have a small business and you're trying to do your thing, it's wonderful. But my question is I'm gonna ask all of y'all: do y'all accept crypto? Are you accepting crypto from any of the multi-millions of users that right now would like more to do with their crypto? Do you know why you don't accept crypto? Because you don't know what to do with it. So come to class. Come to class. We have a master class coming up. The next one is coming up is Sunday, July 25th. It's going to be at 8 p.m. So you'll literally be Thomas, can you? Thank you. You'll be out of work. Sign up at the website. If you go on the website, you're going to see the flyer. You're going to be able to sign up. Y'all get that? Because not only is this for business owners, if you got a small business, a side hustle, I don't care what it is, a street vending, whatever it is you're doing.
If you got a roof over your head, you are a business. Let's keep it 100. You are a business. You are your own business.
Cakes out your back, out of the back of your car. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. The goal, what matters here is that you learn how to get into the commerce game, how to properly involve yourself in wider spread commerce. Now, you guys just watched the video where they're coming up with new payment rails for gold and silver. That's what crypto is. It's a payment rail. It's a new way to get money in, and even a new way to build value with it. And I love it when people come to me, oh, the crypto markets are down. That's because you don't know what to do with it. Oh, I'm losing money. That's because you don't know what to do with it. That's all. Very plainly, you have absolutely no clue what you're doing. And we clearly understand that. I am not.
Guess what? You can learn.
That is not the problem. The problem is, what are you doing about that? Now, for those who would absolutely love to come in and have a discussion about this, and you want to kind of get a preview, come to the Wednesday nights. It's right there. Come hang out with us on Wednesday, because we don't hang out. We do business. We in the lab on Wednesdays. We do what we got to do. Wednesdays, we're figuring out who's doing what, where's it going down, how to accept payments for service, how to stay safe in crypto payments, because people get caught out there. We do the cyber safety, everything. But that's not happening. That's not class. That's a conversation. You're going to learn what's happening in the world that you're missing out on. You're going to take this introduction, figure out if you like what you see and you like the people you're going to be working with. And then you're going to come and sign up for the masterclass, which is basically a fundraiser for our students, to do our children's students. So our little kids that are going to be at the end of August, they're going to get a class for free because you guys paid for it. We're hoping to get 20 seats. Each seat is 1 week ticket, and it's $100. So 2 of y'all will pay for at least one kid to go to class. Any one of these two, every 2 weeks until the end of August, we will be doing this masterclass. It's the same $50 donation. You go to class, they get to get a free class. Let's get it popping. Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. All right. And people, when I tell you every Wednesday night, that doesn't say put it on your calendar, you get to it when you want to. Because if I love it, I always say this. If the economy crashes between this week and the week you chose not to go, guess what? Does that make sense? Mr. Thomas, did you need this flyer for another reason?
No, I just wanted to make you were prefacing in the Wednesday.
It's okay. I took it down for a reason. Your brother understands what happens when I take the flyer down. When I take the flyer down, I'm telling you something. You don't have time. You don't think, oh, I'll do it next week. Because what happens if we don't do it next week? What happens if our whole system changes because the world changed and we decided pick another day of the week or stop doing Wednesdays? Y'all get where I'm coming from? You have to start realizing that money don't chase you and you don't have to chase it, but you're going to have to learn about it now.
You're going to have to get on the rails.
You're going to have to learn and do. Learn and do. It's an activity. Wealth is not something that comes by picking up you buy something and you set it and forget it. I'm going to get this money. We're not telling you to get gold and silver for that purpose either. It's not, okay, I got some gold and silver. I'm all done, Miss Ruby said. That's not how it works. You're missing the system, and that comes in class. If you want to make the class, you're going to make it on Sunday. Sorry about that. Sundays, we start at 7 p.m. I'm sorry, at 5 p.m., our early class. Sunday at 5 p.m. You're going to get the Sunday class. This is every Sunday. We are covering a different area of finances. You're going to start with the first thing, how to grow you're going to start with the first thing, which is how to grow from small to large. This is the actual class. I do not broadcast my classes, so I want to make sure I'm responding to the chat. I don't broadcast classes. You are in a private setting on P2G's environment. You are in the P2G environment. There's no channel that you're going to get our classes. I want to make sure I'm real clear about that. If you want to know what's on the inside of a class, you have to show up. It's like going to a college course, campus. You go to a college campus, you go to class. You know, you can go to the orientation. That's not a problem. They'll go to orientation, explain what's going down, and you can make a choice to sign up. Okay? It's no problem. I'm here to explain everything, break it down. And I want to say thank you so much to Miss Deborah. How you doing, Mama? How you feeling, sis? Love y'all. You all out here. I appreciate you. I know Miss Faye is out here somewhere. We got Miss Kim. How you doing, sis? We miss you in class. Definitely miss you in class. We know we'll see you. It's not a problem. Look, there's folks I know that's already coming through. They put it on their schedule. They get to it. They do their classes, and they got to go back and do what they got to do. Guys, this is life. The only thing you're missing is how to live it well. Like I said, there's a lot of things going on right now, growth processes. And we want you all to realize something. You're never going to get anywhere by yourself on what you know.
Team sport.
You know, we're building the collective right now already. We're putting together our land collective. People to build this next iteration of our land project. You want to stay where you stay, that's fine. If you don't, you might want to build where you live next. We down. But you got to come ready to get something for yourself. You got to come ready to take steps. You got to come ready to fill out your paperwork and go get what's yours. Because unfortunately, a lot of y'all like to talk some stuff, but you don't like to do some stuff. So we're here to share with you where things that are happening are going down. We're not building the collective of online. We're building the collective of real world. I would like to see P2G open up in your town, and you be the leadership, and you open up the next room, and you open up the next program. How many of y'all got churches right now that could use some support in how to build a financial steady community? That's what P2G do. How many of y'all got kids programs that need funding right now that just got defunded from all of these programs? How many businesses out there need new formats of finances coming in from somewhere because all their financial programs and development just got defunded?
Yep.
Y'all think that DEI was not it? Oh my God. I have a sister and I love it because I told her I need to bring her on. They in her town, she was a part of the small businesses and inclusion program. They are doing away with every one of them. They're fighting
forcing them to change the terminology.
It turned down. DEI used to benefit us to a certain extent. And I don't care what you say, oh, white women, this, that, and the other. Do yourself a favor. You were still in there. It wasn't only for them. That was your benefit too. And now it's gone. So stop looking at who the statistics say. Just look at now you ain't got food on your table. It's time to figure out how to put that back. You know, we good about talking about the stuff, but how good are we about recouping and creating from self? That's the conversation you in today. That's what Miss Ruby is about. That's what coming to P2G about. That's what the free Wednesdays about, the free Saturday nights. When you trying to get your party on, we building a new party. And we ain't got crap to do with some celebrity because we're building our own brands. And until you got your name tagged on your stuff and people are out here calling your name, You wasting time. It's now time for us to stop looking good and start being good. When you come into the table where that's
Very
happening.
true. Very true.
With that, we say, I love you. We want you to take better care of yourself. This is Mental Wellness Monday with Breakfast with the Thomases. We hope you just got fed and not fed up only, because it's tired. It's time to be mad is over. It's time to be smart and move. That's
Please don't
all.
get mad at. Please don't get mad at our truth. You have to figure out what your truth is and go live into that. And
That's
if
right.
it is doing what you've been doing, fine. But if you're at the point where your truth is telling you that, look, I need to get up off the bowl and get something done. Get up off the bowl, come to class, get what you need to get, or come look at an option that it may be something there for you. Because we don't guarantee you anything, but we do tell you this. Don't believe anything we tell you. Go do the research. Go check us out. We've been doing this since 2018, 17, 18. We ain't stopped doing it.
That's right.
Come on. Join
And
Breakfast with the Thomas.
that's what's up. Let me just a second. Yeah, I'm just letting y'all know we got so much going on, family. We love you. I want to give some love to the folks that's in the house, because we got TT Lioness. I ain't seen you in about a minute, sis. That's what's up. Unpredictable. How you doing, boo? We got folks and family on stereo. I got Red Stereo Ranger. Bro,
Oh, man. Jose Cuervo.
Suki, that's what's up. Family. Oh, our Clapper family. We want to say thank you for coming through. We love you. We want you to know that somebody out here is not faking when they say they love you. Because love ain't about all the touchy-feely stuff. Love is what happens in the middle of the night when you worried about what's going to happen the next morning, if you can make it through. And somebody shows up or is on that phone going, okay, let's game plan now. You got your tears out, and now let's get that pen and paper for what's going to happen. Where you going next? Who is that in your life, and who you got like that showing up? That's us. That's what we do. That's the family we've been creating for the last 8 years. I want you guys to realize that's who you got in your life. We've been here. Anybody here we mentioned we got Miss Deborah in the house, Miss Kim, definitely got Miss Faye from California. We got family in this space. Let you know something. Every one of them knows. We get together, we game planning, we figuring it out. It's time for you to have a place to go, because we don't know it all, and the world has shifted and changed. So we got to start galvanizing the energy from each other, galvanizing the information, because that's the only way to move forward. So like I said, if you down for the land, reach out. If you really serious, and we talking about, so there's one thing I want to show y'all. So I forgot to give y'all the one for Saturday. The new Saturday schedule for status correction is up. So it's on the website. Go pull it up. Go sign up for the free Zoom. It's 1 hour now. We are not doing 2 hours, 7 p.m. because our live in action class comes right afterwards. And sorry, the live in action study group comes afterwards. Everybody who is taking the responsibility on of handling a business is in that 8 o'clock hour. Anybody who's just trying to get a handle on this, how to really secure land, your name, your status, everything, why, how to get the hell out of debt, how to use debt properly to get what you need, how to manage through trust, through managing through debt, discharge, all of that. You trying to hear about how that makes sense? Come connect. We got the conversation in order for a change. Because a lot of people out here talking stuff. We don't talk, we walk. I'm not training y'all, I'm getting you access. See, I have resources in other people, programs, and places that we've been looking for. And a lot of folks are being taken, they're getting their money, and people just running. We ain't got time to do that. If you're willing to step up, take control, connect. If you want to keep talking, this is not that platform. We'll talk to you, but not on the platform. You can come watch, but until you're ready to take a step, it'll show up in the Zoom you show up in. So we love you. We'll see you soon. We really pray for all of y'all. And when you put your name in our chat or what have you, or you show up in our space, you go on a prayer list. an active prayer list, because we ain't got time for the make believe. We got time for what really works. And in that, I want to say I love you guys. We will see you on Wednesday morning and Wednesday evening. We have an amazing who do we have coming on? We have a guest coming this week? Or are we still
we got to fill our guests in.
Ooh. If anyone wants to do the interview on Wednesday, get in touch with the website. We're gonna go straight to the website and hit the bot, because we will make sure that your products, your goods are introduced to everyone. If you want to do that, we'll send you the link to sign up for your interview with Breakfast with the Thomases Live. We love you. We want you all to win, because we win together. I told y'all it's the Oprah effect going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to make all the money. We just got to make it all together. That's right. Let's go. Peace and love, and see you later, baby. Enjoy your Monday, and we hope that this was a dose of mental wellness. Peace.
Ooh, see you. Wake up and rise up in your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday.